5 for head coach Barry Perry so far this year. Pilots have no shortage of size. Portland State obviously wants to get up and down the floor in a wide open, high-pressure affair, and it's a style that has worked well since Barry Perry came to the Park Blocks. 21 season last year, and a trip to the collegeinsider.com tournament. Been a few years since Portland last reached the postseason, looking for a payoff in Terry Porter's third year, although the Pilots still look to be about a year away from competing in the upper part of the West Coast Conference. The preseason poll of coaches had them picked to finish 10th out of 10 teams this season, and the injuries to the newcomers that we mentioned are certainly not helping their cause so far. One of the nation's top high school shot blockers is in the center circle for Portland. That is Theo Akuba, a 6'10 freshman from Montgomery, Alabama. The 6'10 Brandon Rummel up for the Vikings, and the tip is won by the Pilots. And they'll go to work, going from left to right as we look on, but right to left as you look on WatchBigSky.com. Pilots in the white unis with purple trim. Portland State in the green and white. Ball in the right corner. Dribbling out of that corner is Franklin Porter. Angling to the bucket. Banks it home. And the Pilots are on the board first with Franklin Porter, the redshirt junior out of Tilton School. That's a prep school in New Hampshire, getting the first bucket. Attempted pass by Orm, slapped out of bounds by Porter. Shot clock at 19 for the Pilots. Franklin Porter attended Jesuit High his freshman year and then went back east to finish out the rest of his high school years. Meanwhile, younger brother Malcolm played his full complement of eligibility at Jesuit as Brown Knights to the lane. The miss tipped in by Rummel, and that ties the game at 2. Brendan Rummel going to the glass, and Portland State averaging over 46 rebounds, one of the top offensive rebounding teams in Division I basketball. Also near the top in steals and forced turnovers. Porter, a muscular 6'4", dishes off to the 6'2" Shaver. The drive and kick to the left corner to McSwiggan. An opening for JoJo Walker, and Walker, a 43% three-point shooter, connects on that angle three. Walker averaging 12.6 points per game and is second on the team in assists at 3.7 per contest. Rummel wants it on the block. Backing in on the freshman Akuba. Doubling down is Walker. Brown works the left side of the lane. Turned away. Shot clock at 7. Boo Boo Woods one-on-one taking on Shaver and draws the foul with 3 seconds on the shot clock. That's a tough one-on-one matchup for anybody. Woods very quick on the dribble. And that was called a, well, not a shooting foul. Woods headed toward the free throw line, but just getting set up for the inbounds play. First team foul on the Portland Pilots. Inbounds pass goes to McCoy. His shot altered, and the rebound is cleared by Franklin Porter. And Woods commits the foul as Walker rushes it up the floor. So Woods with his first personal, first team foul on the Portland State Vikings. JoJo Walker averaging 12.6, as we mentioned, 5th in the conference in three-point shooting at 43%. Now Shaver going one-on-one with Brown, waiting for the Akuba screen. Coming out on the hedge is Rummel, losing the ball is Shaver. Finds Porter in the corner. Skip past McSwiggan. A contested three is off. Rebounded by Jamie Orr. McSwiggan hasn't missed too many of those threes. He has a high of 5 in a game. Rummel muscling his way in against Akuba. Can't hit the tip either. And Porter comes away with his second rebound. But the Pilots in a hurry to get up the floor, throw it away, their first turnover. Well, for Terry Porter, you like what you've seen so far. The Pilots making the Vikings use up shot clock, and that's only 1 turnover through 2.5 minutes. They turned it over 17 times the loss last year. Nice pass whistle down low, another block for Akuba as McCoy's rejected. Woods open for 3. He buries it. Oh, Boo Boo Woods up to a tough start shooting the 3 ball. Let's hope that's a sign of things to come. Woods shooting just 23% from downtown coming into the game. McSwiggan in the air with nowhere to go. Threw it off the back of Brown. Ball goes out of bounds. And it's last touched by the Pilots. Back-to-back turnovers for the visitors. Sal Nuhu checks into the game. 6'8" junior forward. Comes by way of Hutchinson Community College. Nuhu a perfect 8 for 8 for the field in the Vikings last game. Native of the Bronx, New York. Attended Taft Educational High School there. Low scoring start, 5-5, 3 minutes in. Woods pulls up off the dribble, bounce pass underneath to Nuhu, goes to the reverse side, no opening there. Pilots shutting down the paint so far with that size. Pull-up jumper by Brown, hand in the face, trying to dish his off, got it back, missed the shot. Tip doesn't go by Orm. And here comes Shaver out of the pack with the rebound, the lob from McSwiggan off the mark. McSwiggan trying to go over to Walker, he collides with Orm, and that'll be a personal foul. Second team foul on the Vikings. That one charged to Jamie Orm, the Seattle native. The Vikings have it tough going in the painted area so far. As Juwan Williams checks into the game, replacing Orm for Portland State. Williams wearing the mint green kicks. And getting set to check in is Tahiro Diabate, 6'9" sophomore, native of Bamako, Mali, who replaced the freshman Akuba. Franklin Porter to inbound, baseline right, lobs it in there for Diabate. Right up into the body is Williams. Cutting right side, low pass off the shoe tops of Walker, regains control. Woods waiting for that screen, and so is Juwan Williams. The reverse to Shaver. Shaver a step back three, off the back of the iron, no good. McCoy with the rebound, looking to run. Instead, leaves it off for Woods. Woods ahead to Nuhu. Nuhu goes in hard, offensive. No, it's a blocking foul. Ball on Diabate. Diabate had a foot in that restricted area, and Sal Nuhu will make the trip to the free throw line. Tahiro Diabate with his first personal second team foul on the Pilots. Sal Nuhu to the line where he's shooting 52% on the season. Nuhu, as we mentioned, coming off the strong game against Portland Bible. And the right-hander's first free throw rims off. Pilots not shoot, or the Vikings rather, not shooting well at the line either this year, to 63%. Nuhu leading the team in blocks. And his second free throw ripples home. 1 out of 2 at the stripe. And the Vikings claim a 6-5 lead as McCoy comes out. Rashad Goolsby into the game for Portland State. Full court man pressure for the Vikings. Pilots will get a lot of that tonight. Long pass finds McSwiggan in forecourt. Walker looking to shoot that three. Blows past Woods to the goal, lays it in. JoJo Walker now with 5 points, and the Pilots jump back in front 7-6. Michael Nuga also into the game for Portland State now. He has been offensive energy off the bench. Juwan Williams, a contested three from the left corner, is off. McSwiggan with the board for Portland, and hustling down the floor. Franklin Porter with the finish and the foul as he tumbles into the baseline. Count the bucket, the foul on Juwan Williams, who missed the three. So the Pilots effective in their transition game. Timeout on the floor, 15:51 to go in the first. Just 2 of 10 for the field. Vikings have hit 4 of their first 6, a pair of threes, and looking at a traditional three-point play here with Franklin Porter at the line. Well short on the free throw attempt. Rashad Goolsby clears the rebound. Goolsby, Woods, Nuga, Juwan Williams, and Sal Nuhu for the Vikings. Woods into the lane and up short with the shot. Another miss from close range by Nuhu. Vikings getting offensive rebounds, but just not converting off of them. As that one's tipped out of bounds, last touched by Portland State. It's already 5 offensive rebounds. There may have actually been a couple credited on that series. But no second chance point, actually 5 second chance points, but a lot of misses from close range. Walker, Shaver, McSwiggan, Porter, and Diabate, the Pilots 5. Williams leaning on Porter, draws the foul. That's already 2 on him. And quickly back into the game comes Jamie Orm to replace him, also off the bench for Portland State. Deontay Strickland, the Jefferson High grad, will give Boo Boo Woods his first rest. Porter to inbound, close range to McSwiggan. McSwiggan retreats outside the arc, a little hot size mismatch, puts it on the deck, and leaning on him is Nuga to pick up the foul. McSwiggan, a guy who did most of the damage from the perimeter last year. Coach Terry Porter trying to get him to attack the basketball. And they're able to draw the foul. It's already 5 team fouls on the Vikings, 2 on the Pilots in the early going. 15-15 to go first half, 9-6 Pilots lead. There's McSwiggan on the attack and draws another foul. So 3 fouls on this possession. That one charged to Sal Nuhu. So Nuhu with his first personal. That's a shooting foul, and one of the top free throw shooters in the country right now. Josh McSwiggan has only missed 1 free throw on the year, and it's his first attempt. McSwiggan averaging a team best 15.8 points per game, and is now 25 of 26 from the foul line, as he has gone over 96%. And I jinxed him. There's a miss. Orm with the rebound. Pilots with a little pressure off the missed free throw in backcourt. Oh, Strickland got away with steps there, it appeared. Now open 3 for him. He's another guy who needs to get healthy for 3. That doesn't go. Orm nearly with the athletic follow, miss, but Goolsby there with the 3rd chance opportunity, and he settles it home. Oh, that would have been a spectacular play by Jamie Orm had he done it. And a lob inside where Diabate scores in the paint for Portland. 12-8 Pilots. Goolsby, pair of dribbles, dish to the left corner to Nuga. Around the horn it goes to Orm. Orm working against Franklin Porter. Doubled on the baseline, went up, stripped to the basketball. McSwiggan's got it. Pilots force the first Portland State turnover. Tough pass from the baseline. Walker to a wide open Shaver who drains the 3. Oh, the Pilots looking sharp in the early going. And it's a 7-point lead for the visiting team. Looking into 2-game losing streak to Portland State. Nuga top key 3. That's way off the mark. Orm had the ball stripped away as he went for the offensive rebound. Finally ends up in McSwiggan's hands. Nuga's been one of Portland State's more consistent shooters. A swat for Nuhu, and Nuhu clears the glass. Sal Nuhu, the blocks leader for Portland State. A high riser, one of many on this team. Nuga to Goolsby, looking in low for Nuhu. Nuhu pushed away from the paint by Diabate. Turns on the dribble, right into the defender, draws the foul. Well, not much more that Diabate could have done there. Terry Porter not happy with that call as he pops up out of his seat. Tough call there going against Tahiro Diabate. And popping off the bench for the Pilots is the freshman Kuba, as Nuhu goes to the line for the 2nd time. Only the 3rd team foul on the Pilots so far. And Nuhu had 1 out of 2 at the line earlier. Converts on the first free throw. Vikings will also send Brown and Boo Boo back into the game as Strickland and Nuga come out. Nuhu, one of those 5 JC transfers in this year, has been coming off the bench for the Pilots. The only starter from that group is McCoy, who's currently on the bench. Nuhu able to hit them both to make it a 5-point game. And Brendan Rummel checks in to replace him. 13:27 to go first half. 15-10 Pilots lead. Full court pressure on the inbound. Porter immediately doubled through the pass behind Shaver, who regains control. One-on-one with Goolsby, who has about a 4-inch size advantage. Maybe more than that, more like 6 inches. Goolsby will switch off on Franklin Porter. The dribble handoff to McSwiggan. 13 on the shot clock. McSwiggan working against Goolsby, dribbling it off his own foot. Picked up off the deck by Rummel. Vikings trying to run, but Shaver hustling from behind. Takes it away from Orm. Ahead to Porter. Porter swatted by Rummel. Out of bounds. Second block for the Vikings. Brendan Rummel with the rejection with the left hand. Porter gets it back from Shaver, a right corner 3. That splashes in. Franklin Porter from downtown. Makes it an 8-point lead for the Pilots. Double team on Woods off the Rummel screen. Now Brown going to work off the dribble. Finds a two-man wall. Goolsby hard down the line in traffic. Tip, his own miss. Couldn't get that to go. And then fouls Akuba in the battle for the rebound. Well, the Vikings all over that glass, but just unable to get those second and third chances to drop. The foul called on Brown. 17th foul on Portland State with 12:31 to go in the first half. And that'll send Thea Akuba to the foul line. 1-on-1 foul shots for the freshman from Montgomery. He's been up very impressive numbers as a high schooler at Brubaker Technology Magnet School. His 9th start out of 10 games. He sat out one with an ankle injury, misses the front end, and Rummel is there for the rebound. Still an 8-point lead for the Pilots. Woods short on the jumper. Brown, another offensive rebound, and this time the Vikings finish the job. Now all those boards are bound to pay off eventually for Portland State. Strickland in the air along the baseline. Orm with the quick hands. Flicks it away from Akuba out of bounds. Bring McCoy back in off the bench, replacing Rashad Goolsby. 9 offensive rebounds for Portland State. And we're not yet 8 minutes into this game. Off the inbounds pass, McSwiggan shot bothered. McCoy there to clear it. Quickly up the floor to Brown. A step back three for Derek. Brown goes down. That was a three. They're actually going to review it, I believe, at the next dead ball. Now McSwiggan on the attack. He's hammered by Brendan Rummel. The official signal going by to the replay that I think they're going to look and see if Brown's foot was on the line. We got a break in the action with 11:44 to go as the Pilots will be shooting free throws again. Pilots 18, Vikings 15. Back after this timeout on WatchBigSky.com and Pluto TV. You can watch the replay along with us. Stepping forward that right foot, good couple of inches beyond the line is Derek Brown, so the three-pointer holds up. Brown now with 5 points to lead the Pilots. Marcus actually making JoJo Walker with 5 points. For Portland, leading scorer in the game, Franklin Porter, who is 3 of 5 from the field, 1 of 1 for 3 for 7 points. Vikings out rebounding Portland 2-1 with a 9-1 edge on the offensive glass. 9 second chance points out of the Vikings 15. But just 5 of 21 for the field the early going. While Portland has shot an efficient 7 of 12. Josh McSwiggan missed one at the line earlier, only his second miss of the year, but he hits both of these. And it's a 20-15 lead for the Portland Pilots. Actually, beg your pardon, did he miss that first free throw? Orm with a miss, might have been tipped by McSwiggan. Trying to throw out from the baseline, and that's intercepted by Franklin Porter. Past the sideline, tipped out of bounds. Oh, Barrett Perry very animated on the sideline. Thought that was touched last by Portland, but he's not going to win the argument. It's McSwiggan, who had missed one free throw all year, is just 2 of 4 at the line so far. A 4-point Portland lead as Porter will bring the ball in from right in front of us. McSwiggan, Akuba, Shaver, and now Malcolm Porter in the games. The Porter brothers out there. Franklin chased off the three-point line by Nuga. Pull-up J by McSwiggan. Hand in the face from Woods, but he hits it anyway. Josh McSwiggan with a 2-point goal. It's a 21-15 Pilots lead. Woods given some space, blows right past Shaver in deep, pass out to the wing to Nuga, is tipped out of bounds. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Porter, his staff intact from year one, now in his third year as the head coach at the University of Portland. But down a man this year, Kramer Knutson, a former 4-year starter for the Pilots. Nice finger roll inside by Robert McCoy, who finishes his first goal. Back to a 4-point game, 21-17. Knutson out on family leave, and that's why Tyler Geving has stepped in as an interim coach. Breakdown defensively there. Malcolm Porter could have taken it to the goal himself, but gives it up to Akuba, who slams it home. And the Pilots convert again. Brown over to Woods in the corner. Maybe a bit of a mismatch there with McSwiggan. Now Woods opening from the drive and kick. He buries it. Eric Brown drawing the defense, and Woods has hit 2 threes. Vikings had fallen down by 8. They've closed to within 3 as we approach the halfway point of the first period. And a reach around foul by McCoy. A silly foul 30 feet from the basket, and that's the 9th Portland State team foul. Marcus Shaver Jr., a 78% foul shooter, and McCoy getting a little greedy out there. First personal on McCoy as Shaver goes to the line for the first time. Second leading scorer for the Pilots. He misses, and Rummel snares the board. Let's see if Woods could keep that hot hand. Nuga for 3. Yes! Back-to-back bombs, and the Vikings have hit their last 3 from downtown. Nuga 1 for 2 from out there. We're all tied up at 23. Pilots have led much of the way. Malcolm Porter collides with Nuga, and that's a blocking foul on Michael Nuga. That'll be his second. So Nuga with 2, Williams with 2. And it'll be a 2-shot foul for Malcolm Porter. Porter played for Gene Potter at Jesuit High School, 2-time All-State and All-Metro League. Another free throw miss for the Pilots. And Portland now just 2 of 7. Make it 2 of 8 from the stripe in the early going. They've shot twice as many foul shots, but the Vikings have outscored them by 1. Second one goes. Pilots back in front by 1, 24-23. Vikings had a lead of 6-5. Otherwise, Portland's had the advantage. Orm bouncing it to Brown. Over to Woods. 2-3 zone defense for Portland. High post to Rummel. Doubling down with the strip is Walker. Vikings flying around on the perimeter. Woods right in the face of McSwiggan. Hits another one, this time from downtown. Boy, McSwiggan has hit 2 shots with Woods right in his face. 27-23. McSwiggan now with 7 points, tied with Franklin Porter for the game lead. Orm going to work off the dribble and collides with Malcolm Porter. That'll be a blocking foul on Porter. That was very close to going the other way. We get a look at the replay, and borderline call, and maybe this. Mr. Lund does not agree with me. One thing you'll notice, a lot of referees will establish a pattern. If they call it a block early, they'll continue to call it a block. Vice versa, if they're calling charges early, they'll continue to call the borderline charge. Our officials tonight, Rick Batso, Ryan Holmes, Mark Beasley. 8:30 to go first half, 27-23. Pilots lead the Vikings. Orm, top of the key to Woods. He's at a pair of threes, looking at a third. Comes up shy. Orm off the trampoline for the rebound, right to the goal, lays it in. The Vikings continue to dominate the offensive glass. Jamie Orm with the conversion. 10 offensive rebounds for Portland State. Pilots lead it by 2, 27-25. Brown right up on Walker near midcourt. Top of the key, McSwiggan. Working against Woods. Forcing him inside. Nuhu swats the shot. McCoy collects the rebound. Second block for Sal Nuhu. Orm's pass to the wing. Deflected by Porter. Saves it in McSwiggan. Ahead to Walker. Walker swatted by McCoy. Brown comes up with a loose ball. Comes back the other way in the push. Vikings do not have numbers. Woods, no-look bounce pass, hit a knee, ends up in McCoy's hands, can't hit from close range. Another tip doesn't go. McCoy wrestling with Akuba for the rebound. And what's the call? Held ball. Vikings basketball. 7:20 to go first half. The action heating up at Viking Pavilion. Pilots lead it 27-25. Pilots 21-8 so far. And off their second offensive rebound of this possession, Pilots trying to prevent a score, but they won't as Brown drains his second three-pointer. Puts the Vikes back in front by 1, 28-27. Very good sign early. As the Vikings shooting well for three. Another block. Here goes Woods on the push to Brown. Blowing past Porter. A little out of control. Rebound Cairns to Akuba. McSwiggan with Nuhu flying in his face. Swats him again. His third block. This one ends up in the front row. Now the Vikings have done a good job of closing out on McSwiggan on the jumper. They didn't get a piece of his last two that went in. But this time the three-point shot is rejected by Nuhu. In low, Akuba up against Nuhu. Another block for Big Sal. And it ends up in Orm's hands. Another rebound for Jamie. Long pass for Nuhu. Little out of his reach, out of bounds as the Vikings give it right back. Nuhu has been a defensive force in this first half for Portland State. Malcolm Porter back to the sideline now. It's Walker, Shaver, Franklin Porter along with McSwiggan and Akuba. And a lot for Akuba. Took him off the rim. Goes back at it, and he's fouled to prevent the dunk. And Theo Akuba will go to the line. The foul charge to Jamie Orm. That's 2 on Orm now. 3 Vikings have picked up 2 fouls so far. Orm with 2, Williams with 2, and Michael Nuga with 2. Williams and Nuga spent a good portion of this first half on the bench. Akuba shooting 2, just 46% at the line. His first free throw, Karam's off the mark. Portland's been dreadful at the line. 3 for 10. They came in shooting 73% as a squad. Akuba, one of their big recruiting lands, averaged a triple-double with blocks as a high school senior. 10.4 blocks per game. Unofficially second in the country in that department. Hits the second free throw to tie the score at 28. Deontay Strickland back on for Portland State. Brown pull up from the elbow, finds Strickland open. His three is strong. Nuhu, a sticky fingered left-hand rebound. Strickland out of the paint, out to Boo Boo. Three is good. That's his third. You know it, baby. Boo Boo Woods has the hot hand. Oh, a little rest will do you good. A little R&R. And it's another offensive rebound to keep that possession alive. And Nuhu with the volleyball spike on the Shaver runner in the lane. That one got inside the 10-foot line. Woo, Lordy. Look at that one again. Coming right at your camera. Inbounds pass out of the reach of Walker, and he fumbles it out of bounds. Not a ton of turnovers for the Pilots so far, only their 5th. That's one fewer than Portland State, but the Vikings have been monstrous on the glass. Brown, drive cut off, quick ball reversal to Woods. A step back three this time, bring up another! And the crowd is alive here at Viking Pavilion as the Vikes have stormed out to a 6-point lead. 12 for Boo Boo Woods. He is 4 for 6 from downtown. 5:13 to go in the first half. So if you're Barry Peary, you're not too concerned about that number. It's unfriendly rolls on the iron for the most part. Vikings getting the shots they want. Although the Pilots early on did a very good job of contesting jumpers and guarding the paint. They've got some shot blockers of their own. This Akuba is going to have a whole lot of swats before his 4 years in the West Coast Conference are up. Franklin Board inbound for the Pilots. Strickland, Woods, Nuhu, Brown, Goolsby, the 5 for the Vikings. Porter, Shaver, Walker, Akuba, and McSwiggan. And Brown on the overplay is called for the foul. Well, your biggest concern right now, if you're a Vikings fan, is the fouls. Nobody's gotten 3 yet, but Brown, Nuga, Orm, Williams, all with 2. And for the Portland Pilots, this game probably should be tied at least if they were hitting their free throws. But they have not been. Walker hits that one. JoJo with 6 in the game now. Pilots 42% at the line. 5 of 12. Portland State's been in the line just twice. Sal Nuhu has hit 3 out of 4. Both freebies go down. 4-point game, 34-30. Pilots continue to pressure in backcourt. Takiula Farenson into the game now for Portland. Bounce pass from Strickland, a little behind Nuhu off the hip. McSwiggan had it stripped away after he picked it up, but it goes out of bounds on Portland State. Vikings getting their defense set. Goolsby a little too close to the baseline, ushered back as Shaver brings it in. 4:50 to go in the half. 34-30 in favor of the Vikings. Walker, the sophomore guard, breaks down Strickland off the dribble, gets in low, tough scoop high off the window and in with Nuhu lurking. Oh, a very difficult shot by JoJo Walker. Juwan Williams back in with the 2 fouls after a long rest. Woods can't draw Walker out on the shot fake, bouncing it to Nuhu, turns to face against Akuba, backs into the paint, dips underneath, and Akuba right with him. It should be, oh, is that a foul? Terry Porter again beside himself, thought there was going to be a walk there, but instead it's a foul on Theo Akuba. I find it hard to believe that Nuhu did not take steps there before whatever contact happened, but the Vikings will take it. And again, the foul disparity on the scoreboard perhaps playing in the Vikings' favor there. Nuhu, the only free throw shooter for Portland State so far, and he hits the first one. Vikings came in shooting just 25% from three-point range, but they've had the hot hand. 7 of 12 63% foul shooting team. Nuhu taking all the free throws. He's now 4 for 5. And make it 5 for 6. 36-32. Didn't see a whole lot of contact there. Walker draws Nuhu out. No look feed into Akuba. Akuba lets Nuhu regain his footing. Able to bank in a tough shot over the top. Nuhu has affected several shots and has blocked a handful so far. Officially 5 blocks in the first half to go with 4 rebounds and 5 points all at the foul line. Nuhu going to work against Akuba. Nice step through move. There's contact for sure. And Nuhu will go back to the line. Back-to-back fouls on Theo Akuba. And that's 2 on him. Breaking the action with 3:40 to go in the first half. Viking Pullman tonight, trailing Washington State 86-67 late in that game. They're in the first half at Long Beach State. Southern Utah with a 25-14 lead. Fresno State up on Weber State 22-19, 3:12 to go in the first half. And here the Portland State Vikings lead the Portland Pilots 36-34. As Sal Nuhu goes to the free throw line yet again for the Vikings. He shot all their free throws. Tonight he's 5 for 6. And Nuhu getting on a roll at the charity stripe. After missing his first, he's hit 6 in a row. Both teams have scored 6 at the line. Nuhu, we mentioned 5 blocks, already 2 away from tying a school record. And misses the second one. Got a new player off the bench for Portland. And is Hugh Hoagland, a redshirt freshman, 6'10" center, making his first appearance in the game. Nice take to the goal as Shaver scores inside. Look now, the Pilots have scored on 4 straight trips down the floor. They're within 1, 37-36. 3:20 to go in the first half. Boo Boo Woods, line of room to operate. Bounce pass to Goolsby. Wheels around McSwiggan. And McSwiggan called for the hand check foul. That is number 7 on the Pilots. And for the first time tonight, somebody other than Sal Nuhu will go to the foul line. It'll be Rashad Goolsby shooting 1-and-1 as McSwiggan picks up his first personal. Goolsby 7-10 at the line on the season. And the first one goes down for him. Pilots led 18-10 at the 12:50 mark. Vikings came back to tie it at 23. Took the lead on a Derek Brown 3 and then got out to a 6-point advantage on back-to-back threes by Boo Boo Woods. Now the lead is 3 as Goolsby connects on 2 at the line. Strickland, Nuga, Goolsby, Woods, and Nuhu. 3-pointer from Farenson. In and out. Nuhu with the board. Early offense. Nuga fires from 3. Doesn't go. Nuhu with the tip. Nuga had it momentarily. Now a scramble. And the held ball will give it to the Pilots. We'll see who gets up off the bottom of that pile for Portland. It's Marcus Shaver Jr. Leading rebounder for the Pilots is the freshman Akuba at 8 boards per contest. He's averaging just a shade under 2 blocks per game. Sal Nuhu was the blocks leader for Portland State, averaging 1.3. And that's going to go up a few notches. Pilots continuing to shoot the ball well, 54% in this game, 13-24 of them. Vikings have got 10 additional shots as Shaver fumbles the dribble out of bounds. Those are the positives if you're a Portland fan. The shooting and the ball control. It's only their 6th turnover. Pilots at 4-7. And the turnover numbers couldn't be much more diametrically opposed, at least defensively. Nice pass from Boo Boo. Nuhu can't finish inside. Shaver rejects his second shot attempt. And now a tie-up between Strickland and McSwiggan. The possession arrow this time going to the Pilots. How about Shaver getting up there to block Sal Nuhu? Oh, they like this kid a lot out of Shadow Mountain High School in Phoenix. 14.4 points per game. That's 14th in the West Coast Conference. Double figures in 6 of their 9 games. Also 5th in steals in the WCC. Honorable mention West Coast Conference last year on the all-freshman team. Weave action up top. Hoagland setting the screen. Double team on Walker and a little too aggressive there as Nuhu picks up his second foul. So 5 Vikings with 2 fouls apiece. And that sends JoJo Walker to the line. 2-shot foul for Walker, who's 2 for 2. He's got 9 in the game to lead the Pilots. We've hit 6 of 13 at the stripe, 13 of 24 for the field. And another free throw miss as McCoy and Rummel check back in for Portland State. Nuhu doing some work in the first half. He'll rest the final 2 minutes of change. Walker with his first miss at the line, one of their better foul shooters at 74%. And the second one's good. 39-37 Portland State. Extra pass to McCoy. He flings from 3. That's off right. Shaver clears the glass. Good rebounding guard, Marcus Shaver Jr., but ball comes right back to Portland State. Woods with him.
Go, Rob! Get him!
McCoy matched up against Franklin Porter. Let's see if they try and get him on a post-up. Instead, Woods spinning down the lane. Scores at the iron. Well, he had 4 threes earlier. Woods paying off there as Strickland could not quite get in position to prevent Walker's drive to the goal. He's called for the foul.
Portland State foul, number 11, Deontay Strickland, his first foul.
Pilots back quickly on the counter-attack, and JoJo Walker returns to the line. First personal on Deontay Strickland. 14 fouls on Portland State. And another miss. Goodness gracious. Walker upset with himself. Mike Lund putting the hex on him over here. Got the second one. 9 misses at the foul line. Portland State has attempted 10 total free throws and hit 8. Rummel matched up against the redshirt freshman Hoagland. Now sets the screen for Woods. Woods from 3 hits another. Oh, Boo-Boo Woods unconscious. 5 threes in the first half. That's the most he's had in a game in his 2 years on the Park blocks. 44-38, matching the largest Portland State lead. Step back 3 for Shaver. There's a silencer for the sophomore guard from Portland. Marcus Shaver shooting just 24% from downtown. Woods again with the triple. That doesn't go. Shaver the rebound and quick outlet. Vikings hustle back defensively. Swiggin to Shaver. Around Nuga. The floater from the baseline goes. Just like that, the Pilots shave 5 off that lead. It's a 1-point game. Barrett Peary going to use his for Portland, 27-15. Shot clock off with 19 seconds to go in the half. Woods the dribble handoff to Nuga. As they run the clock down to 10. Now spreading the floor out. Isolation for Woods. 2-3 zone. Strickland baseline pop is good with 3 seconds. And that'll be the final score. Actually, Portland won't even get the ball in bounds. Deontay Strickland with his first field goal. And the Portland State Vikings and a little 5-0 Portland run with that pull-up baseline jumper by the Portland, Oregon native Deontay Strickland. Good to have you with us tonight on WatchBigSky.com and Pluto TV. Easily the largest crowd that we've had here at the new Viking Pavilion. Seating capacity a little over 3,000, nearly triple the old Stott Gymnasium. And of course, this matchup draws a lot of interest every year. Crosstown rivals. It is a non-conference game, but a lot more on the line than your average non-conference game when these two teams meet. Of course, the winning team can crow about it on the recruiting trail. As Portland State will begin the second half with the basketball and a three-point lead, 46-43 the score. Woods, McCoy, Brown, Orm, and Rummel the starting five, and a traveling violation called on Robert McCoy. So an unforced turnover to begin the second half for Portland State. It's their 9th of the game. For the University of Portland, Franklin Porter, Marcus Shaver Jr., JoJo Walker, Theo Akuba, and Josh McSwiggan. McSwiggan, dangerous shooter from outside. Robert McCoy, a tough defender, and a reach-in foul called on McCoy. That's only his second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different Vikings have committed fouls in this game. 6 of them have committed 2 fouls each. The only guy that has not committed a foul is Rashad Goolsby. McCoy isn't that great length at 6'7". Very versatile player and defender. And has started all 8 games since joining the Vikings. Walker penetrates, gives off to Akuba, and he finishes with the left hand. A lot of upside to this young man, Akuba. He's only played basketball for a few years. Not somebody who was on the AAU circuit. Bothered that shot by Orm. Orm gets his own miss, fouled on the way back up. Quiet game so far for Jamie Orm. Let's see if he can add a couple at the foul line as he draws the 3rd foul on Theo Akuba. Orm at a Highline Community College and O'Dea High School in Seattle. I was thinking back to when I lived up there. O'Dea, sports power in the Seattle area, somewhat akin to Jesuit High School here in the Portland area. They just played for the 3A football championship last weekend up in Washington, taking on another Catholic school from the other side of Lake Washington, Eastside Catholic. Orm hits the second foul shot. 48-45 the score. 4 points for Jamie Orm. Orm, a big scorer at Highline, played for a legendary assistant coach there as Walker gets in the lane, collides with Orm, missed the shot, but the rebound kicked out of bounds by the Pilots. It'll stay, or by the Vikings rather. It'll stay with Portland. Dave Denny, legendary high school coach up in Washington, after he finished his high school career, has been at Highline a number of years now as an assistant coach. Walker nearly lost it, retrieved by McSwiggan near midcourt, and Walker is down. Walker is down on the ground. Dave Denny, outstanding coach at Mark Morris High School in Longview, Washington. Won 3 championships, was runner-up another time back in the 70s and 80s. Looked like steps by McSwiggan. Nice dump down pass. And Diabate back on the floor for Akuba in foul trouble, able to finish in low. Give the assist to Josh McSwiggan. So the Pilots score on their first 2 offensive possessions, 1-point game. And trying to fight around a screen, JoJo Walker is called for the foul. Only the first foul on the 6'1" sophomore point guard, JoJo Walker. Walker, a native of Carolina, Puerto Rico, but played his high school ball in the Bay Area at St. Joseph High School. Orem lost it on his way through the lane. Rummel able to retrieve. Shot clock at 8. Orem cut off of the baseline by Diabate. Rummel stepping out. Jumper rims off. Another offensive board. Brown sneaking in low and has it poked away from behind out of bounds. Chalk up another offensive rebound for the Portland State Vikings. 16 offensive boards compared to 4 for Portland. Rummel switches sides on the screen. Brown open for 3. Little short. Rummel with the tip. It goes. Second time that Rummel has gotten to the rim for a finish off a miss. 50-47. Walker a wide open 3 on the baseline drive from McSwiggan. No. Diabate there. Fouled on the way back up. And Barrett Perry wants to know what Brendan Rummel did. Got to stay vertical. We'll see the replay on that. Trying to come down slightly with those arms. While Diabate goes to the foul line. Rummel with his second foul. Tahiro Diabate, native of Mali in Africa, but played his high school ball in Japan. And we'll get a look at the replay here. Rummel, yeah, he definitely came down. Southpaw's second free throw, too strong off the back of the iron. Missed free throws continue to plague the Portland Pilots. 50-48 Portland State. Early going second half. Rashad Goolsby into the game for Portland. Gives off to Boo Boo. Rummel with the screen. Out on the switch. Now fading back in is Diabate. Boo Boo drives down. Oh, that's a beautiful play. The dish to Rummel. Pirouettes and finishes with the left hand. Dive assist for Boo Boo Woods. And a foul in backcourt. Called against Derek Brown. And he becomes the first player to pick up a third foul. Nice finish there by Brendan Rummel, who has scored on the last 2 Vikings possessions. Brown's out, Nuga's in. Porter will inbound at 3/4 court. Nuga picking up the defense on Shaver. Boy, that's an early shot contested, but Diabate keeps it alive. Walker stumbling along the baseline. Around the horn to Porter for 3. Back brace. Boog with a rebound. That's Franklin Porter. Brother Malcolm on the bench. A little hesitation move by Boo Boo. Feeds it into Rummel, who lays it home, but a foul first. No basket. Diabate called for the block on the pass up. That's his third. Rummel comes out, Nuhu in. And we'll see if Terry Porter goes to his bench. Diabate and Akuba each have 3. Remember, they're out without the 7-footer Jacob Tryon, who has appeared in just 1 game this 2:48. Nuhu wants the ball in the high post. They look high-low with Goolsby. Goolsby still on the dribble, muscling into Diabate to the corner for a Nuga 3, and it's good. Michael Nuga's hit a couple from downtown. The Vikings continue to shoot it well from out there. Seven-point lead. That's the largest of the game for Portland State. Shaver trying to shave 3 off of that. He can't. Orem with the board. Boo Boo sizing up JoJo. Boo Boo versus JoJo. I like it. Now Nuga attacks, finishes. 9-point lead. Now, Terry Porter holding on to those timeouts and can wait no longer. He'll call the time. In that 83-point win over Portland Bible, they did not play very sharply in the first 3-4 minutes of that game. In fact, it took them a while to really get some spread against a completely overmatched opponent. But when they get it going, they get it going. Same group back onto the floor for Portland State. Porter didn't want to have to use that timeout, but this is not a team you want to be on the wrong side of momentum against. Portland State can line up the scoreboard in a hurry. And there's a missed time pass, a free ball in backcourt. Shaver just does beat Nuga to it. Diabate, top of the key against Nuhu. Hands off to Shaver. Shaver on the attack. Reverse side with the finish. A blur as he goes past Sal Nuhu, avoiding the block. Again, still a very young Pilots team. Shaver, Walker, just sophomores. Akuba, a starter as a freshman. Top key three, Nuga. Friendly roll. He's hit 3 in a row. Lead is 10. McSwiggan gets Nuhu off his feet. Porter wide open from 3. Can't hit it. Orm clears on his way to 10 rebounds. Boo cut off of the baseline. Orm sizing up the 3-point line. Gives off to Nuga. 3 is good. We got a whistle off the ball before the shot. And that's going to be on Portland State's Jamie Orm. A player control foul. His third. Breaking the action with 14:27 to go. 60-50. Vikings lead it on WatchBigSky.com and Pluto TV. Nuga, who has 11 off the bench tonight for Portland State. Boo Boo Woods, all 17 of his points in the first half. Woods has already set a career mark with 5 3-pointers tonight. He had 3 threes at 6 attempts against Northwest Nazarene out at CenturyLink Arena in Boise back on November the 24th. That was his season high. And the high point total for him this year, 22 against the Willamette Bearcats here at the Pavilion. And a blocking foul on Boo Boo Woods over the sideline. And it looks like Franklin Porter a little slow to get up, has to be hoisted to his feet by teammates. Only Woods' second foul. 2 Pilots, 2 Vikings, each with 3 fouls in this game. Akuba and Diabate for Portland. Derek Brown and Jamie Orm for Portland State. Orm coming out now as Juwan Williams checks into the basketball game. Woods with fresh legs, hasn't played in a week. This whole Pilots team has had a week off to prepare for this game. Their last game, a road trip to Colorado in the Pac-12. And coming from out of bounds, JoJo Walker had not reestablished himself. That'll be a Pilots turnover. Not a whole lot of turnovers for Portland. That's their 9th. Vikings with 11 turnovers. And a 10-point lead. Nuga going to work again. Spins it off the window and in. 62-50 as the lead continues to grow for Portland State. A near steal. Walker able to get away from the double team. McSwiggan's pass deflected. Finds its way to Diabate. Going against Nuhu, and Nuhu called for the arm bar. That's his third. Now things start to get interesting. 3 Vikings now with 3 fouls. That could have been an and one for Michael Nuga. No. Played that shot off the glass off body contact. Non-shooting foul. That's team foul number 6 on the Vikings, 3 on the Pilots. 20 fouls for Portland State in this game, just 10 on the Pilots. Porter feigns the 3. Now the skip pass to McSwiggan. Again with a hand in the face, tries to draw the foul, cannot. Karam's off the iron, but two Vikings converge and can't squeeze the rebound. Another chance. Portland does have a honest-to-goodness offensive rebound or two here in the second half as Diabate has cleared two off the glass. Most of them have come on those team rebounds. There's another swat for Sal Nuhu, his sixth. Goolsby with the rebound. Three from the corner, doesn't go. Nuhu again with that one-handed board. Boy, he's got big hands. Foul before he can go up with a shot, or was it? Yeah, no, they're going to say it's a shooting foul. Shaver the guilty party there. So Nuhu, who has lived at the line tonight, goes back to the stripe. Second foul on Marcus Shaver Jr. And the Bronx native will shoot two more. That one does not go. He's missed his last two free throw attempts. Nuhu played 2 years at Hutchinson Community College in Kansas. He was part of a national championship team 2 years ago as a freshman. He reached the Sweet 16 of the national tournament last year. 63-50. Pilots in danger of letting this one slip away. Still a lot of time left. McSwiggan, double. Muscles his way to the baseline. Wide open three for JoJo Walker. Missed everything. Woods on the other side with a board. Woods trying to go coast to coast. Collides with Shaver. Offensive foul on Boo Boo Woods. And that's number 3 on Woods. Well, the Vikings so far this year have been collecting a lot of fouls. Tonight, no exception. Still 13 minutes to go, a 13-point advantage. Porter with the touch pass. Around the horn it goes to McSwiggan. He can't hit from 3. Wells gone dry for Portland from downtown. Nuhu with the rebound. McSwiggan, dangerous long-range shooter, 41% on the season. Strickland into the game now for Portland State. Takes the dribble handoff from Nuhu. Gives off to Brown. Brown around the Nuhu screen. Porter, well defended in the block. Shot clock at 7. Goolsby, double. Finds Brown in the lane. Head fake, gets 2 off their feet. Can't finish. But Nuhu can. He tips it in. 65-50. 8-0 run for Portland State. Walker ends that with a reverse layup. Now Goolsby strong on the finish with the left hand right into the freshman Akuba. Back to a 15-point advantage for Portland State, 67-52. Rashad Goolsby with 7 in the game. In low, it's Akuba at the iron. But the Pilots can't trade buckets right now. They're down by double digits. Nuhu facing off against the freshman. Blows, pass, and can't finish at the iron. Another board, though. Goolsby had it stripped by Porter out of bounds. Oh, Nuhu with a quick first step. Could not quite get enough liftoff to throw that baby down. And Pilots even in points of the paint, but look at these second chance numbers. 24-4 for Portland State off 21 offensive rebounds. They've out-rebounded the Pilots 40-19 tonight. It's an area you knew the Vikings would have an advantage. What you might not have expected was 10 out of 20 from three-point land. Meanwhile, Portland dead cold here in the second half, 0 for 7 from 3, as the Vikings have extended out to a 13-point advantage. Largest lead has been 15. Jamie Oram back on the floor. No look feed in low to Goolsby. Back outside for a Derek Brown 3. That's an air ball. And Oram can't keep it in play. Boo Boo Woods still the leading scorer. He is scoreless here in the second half. Currently seated with 17 points. Michael Nuga Explosive here in the second half. He's got 13. But for Nuga, 10 of those points have come after halftime. Meanwhile, Portland led by the 13 points of JoJo Walker, 12 for Marcus Shaver. Been a quiet night for Josh McSwiggan. Hit a couple of shots early, has not scored recently. Malcolm Porter with the dish into the corner. McSwiggan, another miss from 3, and they're 0 for 8. Brendan Rummel with a rebound. Brown into the lane, gives off to Goolsby, fumbles it into Orm's hands. He'll retreat with 14 on the shot clock. We've hit the 10-minute mark, 67-54 the score. Brown dishes out to Strickland. Shot clock at 6. At 5, Orm going to work with the runner, right of the lane. Too strong up the window. Brown there on the weak side. Follows it in. Pilots simply cannot keep Portland State off the offensive glass. 69-54. Shaver has his pocket picked. A steal for Goolsby. Ahead to Orm. Bring the noise. Jamie Orm with a dunk. Timeout. And Brown, but that has not slowed Portland State one iota. Vikings set up their full court man press as Shaver will bring the ball inbounds. Rashad Goolsby at 6'7", guarding the baseline. And it comes to Malcolm Porter. Both Porters out there along with Shaver, McSwiggan, and Akuba. For Portland State, Goolsby, Rummel, Woods, Strickland, and Orm. Akuba back to the basket, backing in on Rummel, tried to force up a shot, and Rummel deflects it out of bounds. Never got it really above the shoulders. Did I mention he averaged over 10 blocks a game in high school? Theo Akuba. Sal Nuhu could conceivably end up with 10 blocks tonight. He's got 6. Orm plays for the steal, and a foul whistled away from the ball. Will be charged to Rashad Goolsby. So now every Viking that's played is fouled. That's the first on Rashad Goolsby. That is 18 fouls on Portland State. As Rashad Goolsby comes out, Robert McCoy checks into the ballgame. And Akuba goes to the line shooting 1-1. Dreadful foul shooting tonight for the Portland Pilots. And another miss. Orm clears the board, and he now has 10 rebounds. Orm on the take, gets it to go. Low scoring night for him. He's got 8. It's not exactly low scoring, but a quiet 8 points for Jamie Orm to go with his 11 rebounds now. And the lead continues to grow. It's a 19-point advantage, 73-54. McSwiggan in the lane, swatted by Orm, but a whistle came first. Deontay Strickland charged with that one, his second. Now, maybe in a bit of foreshadowing, you know, it wasn't going to be the Pilots' night when McSwiggan missed a couple of free throws earlier. It's the first of 2. He's now 3 of 5 at the line. Came in having hit 23 of 24 at the foul line this season. McSwiggan without a field goal in the second half. He's got 8 points. JoJo Walker leading the way with 13 for Portland. Currently on the bench. Actually, no, he is out there. A 17-point Vikings lead, 73-56. McSwiggan from Loughborough, England. A steal in backcourt. Walker to the goal. Missed the layup. I think he was expecting to be contested. Boo Boo let him go. Lob for Rummel, almost one-handed it. Volleys it alive, but Akuba comes up with a basketball. And beating everybody down the floor, Franklin Porter finishes on the other end. Open three for Nuga, no go. And McSwiggan clears. Vikings continuing to play at a fast pace. Malcolm Porter swings it in the left corner for McSwiggan three. Falling back of the easy chair, he drains it. So the Pilots with some legs. Lead is down to 12, and that's enough for Barrett Peary. And what do we have here? Malcolm Porter, after the whistle, knocked the ball out of Boo Boo's hands, and the official giving him a stern, just a dude. Kind of guy you like to root for. Virginia Tech ranked number 15. Easy win over VMI, 89-68 tonight. A finals rematch of the NBA tonight. Steph Curry made 9 threes and scored 42 as the Warriors beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 129-105. Pilots had a 19-point lead. It has shrunk to 12. Boo Boo Woods trying to add to it, cannot with the elbow jumper. McSwiggan comes away with the rebound. Good momentum right now for Portland. 4 straight defensive stops for the Pilots. Sal Nuhu getting set to check back in. Ball deflected into backcourt. Shot clock at 18 as JoJo Walker crosses the line. Double team out there. Akuba took steps, got away with it. Porter for 3, can't get it to go. But Rummel can't squeeze the rebound. Malcolm Porter's got it and lays it in. Franklin can't hit the 3. Malcolm picks up the slam. And it's a 10-point ball game. 9-0 run for Portland. Brown, Nuga, Woods in the backcourt. Nuga collides with Malcolm Porter, who slid in there, and sliding on his backside into the end zone bleachers goes Nuga. Only the first foul on Malcolm Porter. That is the 5th team foul on Portland. As Sal Nuhu checks in for Brendan Rummel. Nuga, the Toronto native, bouncing it into Derek Brown. Brown from Federal Way, played his high school ball at Auburn Riverside High School. Nice look underneath. Sal Nuhu brings the noise, a 2-hand jam up the feed from Boo Boo Woods. Big night for Sal Nuhu. 10 in the game, 2 rebounds away from a double-double. Porter with the tough runner, Silky. Malcolm Porter has scored the last 4 points for the Pilots. 75-65. Porter averaging 5.5 points per game off the bench, 48% shooting. Woods hanging in the air shot, swatted by Akuba, but a foul will go against JoJo Walker, his second. And shooting foul puts Boo Boo Woods at the foul line for the first time. Woods shooting 71% at the charity stripe this year. And his second 20-point of the game of the season, added 5 assists. And the Vikings loss at Stanford. Half dozen 20-point games in his career, and he's 2 points away from his 7th. Holland, Boo Boo Woods, just a sophomore, Big Sky freshman of the year last year. Big Sky leader in assists. Vikings leading scorer in the season with 15. Now has 19 on the night as the Vikings continue to win the battle at the free throw line. Portland just 11 of 22. The Vikings have hit 13 of 18. Oh, nice dribble move by Malcolm Porter and a left-hand finish. Porter going to work, 6 straight points. The Vikings not letting Portland State get out of here easily. As Orm fires from 3. Porter, a one-hand rebound right at the front of the iron. Where did this guy come from all of a sudden? Just the spark that head coach and father, Terry Porter, needed. The Pilots certainly had a lot of great PR from the hiring of Terry Porter. Baseline jumper McSwiggan continuing to be ice cold in this second half. Nuga off the rebound, down the floor. Head fake for Boo Boo, a three out of rhythm, doesn't go. Porter tipped it off the head of Nuga out of bounds. A lucky bounce for the Portland Pilots. 5 minutes left. This game by no means out of reach for the visiting team. Jump pass McSwiggan out to Walker. They could use that three. They won't get it. Goolsby will let it bound out of bounds. Pilots unable to keep up the pace at the three-point arc. Now 10 for 23 from downtown tonight.
Downhill.
They were 5 of 9 at halftime. Now the Vikings have converted on 6 of 20 from three-point range. They're not shooting it particularly well in the second half either. A two-man game with Boo Boo and Nuhu. Now Brown around Franklin Porter. Shot adjusted by Akuba. Got a rebound. Nuhu fouled on the way back up. More free throws for the Bronx native. Franklin Porter called for that personal. And this will be a two-shot foul for Sal Nuhu. Both teams the bonus now. Next Vikings foul will be their 10th. As Nuhu misfires on the first freebie. .24 offensive rebounds tonight for the Portland State Vikings. Nuhu missed them both. Orm, there's another. Make it 25. But he gives it up. Malcolm Porter with the steal. Vikings fighting to get it back. Porter trying to call timeout, but didn't have possession. But the held ball will do the trick as the arrow points in the Pilots' favor. Well, Porter is almost single-handedly keeping the Pilots in this game right now. The higher scoring of the Porter brothers is Franklin. He's a starter. Averaging 9 a game. Malcolm 5.6 off the bench. But Malcolm Porter has checked in with 7 points on 3 of 3 shooting just in the last couple of minutes. And he's getting it done on the glass and defensively as well. Four minutes to go, a 10-point Vikings lead. McSwiggan. Yeah. Ooh, boy, there's a ticky-tack foul. My goodness. Derek Peary. Mystified by that one, as are the green-clad fans here at Viking Pavilion. That'll be a 2-shot foul when we come back. 3:52 left. Vikings 77. Pilots 67. Remarkably, nobody yet in this game with 4 fouls. But this one puts a really good foul shooter at the line for 2. It was the 10th Vikings team foul. And Josh McSwiggan will toe the line. A chance to make this an 8-point game. 3:52 to go. McSwiggan with 12 tonight, 4 of 6 at the line. And connects on the first throw. Josh McSwiggan. Loughborough, England native. 3rd in Portland history in 3-point shooting. 43%, hits both free throws. 77-69. Pilots extending their defense out a little farther in half court. Vikings going against the style they like, trying to run a little clock here. Under 10 now. Spinning in the lane is Boo Boo. Tries to feed it underneath to Nuhu. A Pilot got a tip on it. Looked like it might have hit Sal on its way out of bounds. But it's going to seconds on the clock as Brown will trigger the inbounds pass for the baseline. Out high to Woods. Off the Nuhu screen. Splits the double team. Scoops it up and in off the glass. Oh, the Vikings needed that finish. And they were able to drain some clock. And Boo Boo Woods with his 7th career 20-point game. He's got 21. 79-69 Portland State. Walker around the McSwiggan screen. Woods on the switch. Now Nuhu hedges up. Walker following Nuhu into the lane. Almost with eyes in the back of his head. Saw the lob going to Akuba and flicked it out of bounds. There's 11 seconds on the shot clock. Sal, great energy off the bench. He's had some productive games this year. This might be one of his best. Double-double awaits, 1 rebound away. 6 blocks to 9 boards and 10 points. Walker banks it home with 1 on the shot clock. 79-71. Orm into Akuba. No foul. Got the miss. Followed it in. I think Jamie Orm was expecting a whistle there, but the Vikings will just chalk up 2 more second chance points to get the lead back to 10. Not for long. A 3 from Malcolm Porter. 7-point game. 81-74. 2:11 left. Derek Brown to Orm. Sides his way in. Blocked by Akuba. Loose on the floor. A scramble. And it'll be Portland State basketball on the held ball. Another block for the young man from Alabama. That's his 3rd of the night. And a timeout called by Portland State. Leaves them with 1 remaining. Points in the contest. McCoy, quiet night for him. 2 points, 4 rebounds. All right, so 1 timeout remaining for each team. They'd accidentally called that timeout for Portland. So 1 timeout for the Pilots, 1 timeout for the Vikings. 2 minutes to play. And Portland State spread the floor. Shot clock under 10. Off the high ball screen from Nuhu. Woods the handoff to Orm. Got to get a shot away. Hangs in the air. Leaves it short. Tip. Loose. Knocked out of bounds. Off Walker. Wait a minute. They're going to give that to the Pilots. Sure looked like that one went off Walker last. And they may take a look at this one. Yeah, they're going to take a look at the replay. We'll get a look at it ourselves. See if we can wind it back a little farther and see who that ball hit on its way out of bounds. You see Orm and Walker going for it. Very tough to tell on that replay. It's a big call in this game. Pilots would have possession of the ball down 7 with 1:44 left if this one goes in their favor. The Vikings appear to be running away with this one as they got up by 19 points. It was 73-54. They got a 3-pointer from Josh McSwiggan, his only 3 of the second half, and then Malcolm Porter got hot. Porter scoring on a rebound putback and 2 drives to the goal. And that started the Pilots' comeback. They got that lead back to single digits on a pair of McSwiggan free throws. A little under 4 minutes left. And a 3-pointer by Porter brought the score to 7 on the last Pilots possession. They continue to view the replay over there. I don't know that that's going to be particularly conclusive. In real time, I thought that hit JoJo Walker last. But I don't know that the replay is going to have enough for them to overturn the call. And all three officials get a peek at the video. They're going to summon, and they're going to keep it with the Pilots. Now, if you're head coach Barry Peary, that clock can't run fast enough at this point. A 19-point lead reduced to 7. And the Pilots trying to creep even closer. Inbounds pass nearly stolen by Brown. Walker in the front court all the way to the lane, right into Nuhu, missed the shot. Akuba there. Oh, he missed the money right at the front of the rim. An uncontested putback, and he leaves it short. Big break for Portland State, and now they'll drain more clock as Boo Boo dribbles in the center circle. Shaver out to defend.
40-10.
Orm screening. Shot clock at 12. I don't know if this ball will leave Boo Boo's hands or not. Takes the handoff to Orm. Shot clock at 5. Ball knocked away by Shaver. Off Boo Boo Woods, out of bounds. So another chance. Oh no, a foul. A foul called on Boo Boo Woods. That is the last thing you wanted here. Clock stops. 2 shots for Shaver, who's a 78% foul shooter. Minute 8 to go, a chance to make it a 5-point game. Marcus Shaver Jr. now with 13 points, 4 in double figures for Portland. Shaver with the clean pick, and Boo Boo, that's a good call. He tried to obstruct Shaver, who was in pursuit of that loose basketball. Woods the first of 4 fouls tonight. Shaver hits them both. Remember, last year, it was the Vikings that came from behind late with a 12-0 run to win by 5. Look out, ball heading our way. Boo Boo keeps it in play. And he's fouled with 1 minute to go. That ball nearly sailed over Woods' head. Foul charge to JoJo Walker. His 3rd personal. Nobody in foul danger for Portland. Woods, the only one in the game with 4 fouls. A 71% free throw shooter. Shooting 1 and 1, and gets the first. Portland State looking for its 3rd consecutive win in this series. Pilots have had the edge all time, and 12-9 since we'll call it the modern era when basketball came back here in '96. Woods hits 2 big 1-and-1 free throws to make it a 7-point game. 83-76. Under a minute to go. Malcolm Porter on the dribble. Guarded by the sophomore Woods. Switching off on him is Goolsby. Porter still pounding it. Now into the lane. Kicks it out to a wide open shooter. It's Walker for 3. He missed it. Strickland the rebound. And a foul to stop the clock with 40.6 seconds left. Now it's a frustrating second half for the Portland Pilots. We're now 7-22 from 3-point range tonight. 2 for 13 from beyond the arc of the second half. Missed threes in the end, and a whole bunch of Portland State offensive rebounds. But Strickland can't hit the front end 1-and-1. Still live for the Pilots. Rebound to Akuba. Shaver has it poked away from behind by Goolsby, stopping the clock with 33.9 seconds left.
Yellow.
24 in the shot clock. Pilots looking for a quick score, down 7. Malcolm Porter triggering the inbounds pass. A quick 3 from Shaver. No good. Back of the iron. Goolsby the rebound. Got a foul. They do. They'll put Woods at the line. Now, Vikings fans not yet breathing the big sigh of relief. You can hear a little bit of the pressure release on that three-point miss and foul. Woods already with a season best 23 points, looking to add to it here and seal this victory. First free throw is good. It's a two-shot foul, the 10th team foul of the night for the Portland Pilots. Got them both. 9-point lead. Should be enough with 27 seconds to go. Porter a pull-up three. No good. Goolsby one-hands the rebound. Double teamed in backcourt. Ahead to Nuhu. Nuhu to Woods. Woods lays it in. And the Vikings will win their third straight against the Portland Pilots. On a career night for Holland Boo Boo Woods. There's a layup for JoJo Walker, but too little too late. 8.5 seconds left. 9-point lead, and that'll do it. Vikings will dribble out the final seconds on a victory. Portland State goes to 5-3 on the season. Pilots drop their third straight to fall to 5-5. Again, the final